fair. Yeah, like, I mean, if I were to ask you, so what does it take to really build a recording studio? I mean, what separates you from any other recording studio? I mean, if I were to go to, I mean, I'm looking around at, how everything's organized. I've been to studios where things are messy. Bands come in, they leave their crap. I mean, we have our shoes off.
I'd say it's
You don't have your shoes on.
Okay, fine.
What does that tell you about it?
It's neat. It's in order, and we do things right the first time.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's really like the majority of the feedback I get. Actually, a good number of the clients I get are previously unsatisfied.
Yeah.
People that went to other studios and they come here and they're like, oh, wow.
So some bands or artists are coming in where they're in some cases not getting what they need because the project's dragging on. They're not unorganized. They've got their band together, which is time and money for them. Time is money for bands, and they're unprepared, not set up. And obviously, I'm looking around your studio. You guys have a phenomenal inventory of equipment. It's all heated. It's comfortable. Warm coffee. You guys look like nice people, and so I mean, you guys are sort of putting together. Not only attracting, good first impressions of people that come here for the first time, but you've got repeat business, and you're putting together deals where, it hasn't gone well in other studios.
Yeah, well, I think I just did a write-up the other day for Craigslist, and the things that I kind of summarized and the feedback I've been getting from clients is that they get it done right the first time. And like you're in good hands here where I'll guide you through the whole process so you don't have to know. Most studios is like, they'll just, they're like, well, was that take all right? And the guy's like, yeah, it's cool, let's move on.
Right, just get out of
there's no direction, there's no guidance, and people are really, they don't know what they're doing, most of the time, like the majority of the people don't realize that they can have a professional CD.
Right.
They don't even realize that, and I know how to see the potential in everyone. I mean, you'd look at someone and be like, wow, they really cannot play, and I can get something great out of them.
Right. So you can recognize what their talents are.
Yeah, I can find
inside
it,
the studio.
I can pick it out and quickly have them take 100 times better than they would have got elsewhere.
Yeah. Well, that's your mentor. You've been mentoring some people on that too, and I know that a lot of people from Craigslist have reached out to you, but. On Craigslist, it doesn't come through what's here. I mean, it doesn't have the quality. I mean, this is a $500,000 studio. I mean, I don't know what you spent on the studio, but I mean, it's surely is high tech, high quality, and it has all the things that you would expect from a high profile studio. What do you say to someone that thinks that they can make their music on their own? I mean, versus really getting it done right. I mean,
well, what I always tell everyone is I encourage them. I say, get your own. I always recommend Pro Tools because that's just the studio standard. I just suggest get like a little inbox for like $250 with like a $600 to $800 computer or something. If you're going Mac, if you're going PC, maybe $400.
Right.
And get like, you don't even really need a preamp because I think they're built in. And just own that so you can record your songs, write them, get them down, and you can arrange them, figure it out. Then when you're ready to go into the studio, you've got your Pro Tools files on an external hard drive. You come in, you open it up, you just start working, and so basically, I recommend that to everyone, to have their own little setup, but not so they can do the actual recording on their own, because I tell them, I go, if you want to do it on your own, you're going to be spending a lot of money on gear, and you better be willing to invest the next 10 years of your life to figure out how to use it.
Well, that's what's interesting, Brian. You're a hybrid. I mean, you're unique because you're the performer, you're the artist. You can hear the music, you can help coach people on the sounds and what they need to do, and but also you do the mix. I mean, you understand the studio, you understand how to put the studio together, how to evaluate a studio, and what a band needs when they come to a studio. I mean, you've been that band, you've been in that band, you've recorded, you know, you've experienced that. So, I mean, I think that's a lot of what you're bringing here. That's pretty cool. But so it sounds like what's interesting. What I'm finding is the more and more I've talked to you in other studios, is that the game's changing. The internet's changing the game for these players. Number one, you know, there's a lot of information out there that people think that they can do it for a low cost, or they can get it cut free, or there's just special over here, whatever. But the end result is that the gatekeepers are changing. I mean, I know Gary. I don't know if you know Gary Vaynerchuk. He's got a book out called Crush It, and he's talking about how the internet's changing the way for the gatekeepers. I mean, if you're an artist today, how do you get recorded? You got to go through the agents. You got to go through the you know, all the brass, you know, the people in the recording industry and the labels that control. If okay, I think you're good enough for me to record, and it sounds like you're sort of changing the game where you're bringing that type of production to, you know, it could be an entry-level person that says, you know, I've been singing for, you know, this many years, I would take my game to the next level, and here we go. The cost to do it on my own is going to be significant, plus I got to understand how to operate the equipment. You know, I relate it to like an operating room. You can have all the surgical equipment, but if you don't know how to do the surgery, forget about it. It's just tools.
Or the tools to build a house. You know, you're not going to build a house.
Exactly.
It's not going to happen.
So, so for the people that are just artists, I mean, you could save them a lot of time, a lot of money, and it's actually more affordable than they might think.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, if you do proper planning, and you know, you've got the you know, if you give it, basically, like, the larger the cost up front, the cheaper the product in the end. You know, it's like, let's say a studio charges $200 a day.
Right.
Okay, well, there's going to be one of the scenarios is maybe it'll take a long time, and it won't be that good of a product. Maybe it'll take a long time and it will be okay. Or maybe it'll be quick and it'll sound like horrible. Or it'll take a long time and sound horrible. You know, so you're looking at, and maybe, you know, the production's not going to be there. There's going to be some things lacking that is not going to get that, you know, that project done.
Sure.
Like my friend Donnie Osborne, he's a legend drummer guy known as the Swing Man, and he goes, well, they used to, in the studios, they were, the operations, he played with who? Mel something. Big guy. Mel.
A singer?
Probably, I would assume.
Oh, in Portland?
Maybe, I don't know. That's where he lives now, so.
Yeah, Tony's in Portland.
Mel.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
They would do like 23 songs. Probably. He did like 23 songs in 2 days with a full thing. And guess what the rate was for that operation? It was like $2,000 or $3,000 an hour.
Yeah.
You know, but you're giving all that, but you're getting like, you know, it's probably, at the end of it, you're probably only in about 20, 30 grand, but you have a full CD done in 2 days.
Right.
You know, whereas, yeah, I just worked with a band, and their project came to about 20 grand. It was over like 4 years, and it was, you know,
same price.
Yeah, same price, but not the.
Yeah. So the better, I mean, the more you guys are going to know what the band needs when they get here. You know, what to cut first, and how to organize them, and how to move the project along quickly, and you're bringing an affordable option for them. That's phenomenal. So where is your studio located? Like, where are we?
Bellevue, Washington.
Bellevue.
By Microsoft, by the Freeway 405.
Yeah.
I-90.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got, we're actually in a secluded little nook in Bellevue. Like, there's the Brayburn, there's Bellevue Square, there's the Lodge, Lincoln Square. There's tons of malls around here. So it's, I mean, you got tons of amenities around here, but yet you're so close to everything else.
Right. Okay. Very good.